We just unfortunately lacked effort early in the game. They really came ready to play and showed us how to play competitive footy week after week. We just didn't back up well from last week, but full credit to the Territory. Good side, a very quick side, and we gave them too much room to move and use their pace. Yeah, they've got some physical players, no doubt about that, but if you can get a hold of the footy, you can take those type of players out of the game. We just allowed them to get a hold of it, and we were continually chasing and defending, and in the heat of Cairns, we weren't able then to really get some forward movement and really put them under pressure. We certainly spoke about it pre-game, and I believe we didn't cope with it well. I reflected on the coaching of the game and thought maybe some more detail could have been given around being patient into the breeze, particularly in the first quarter. We tended to try and use options in the first quarter that were a bit risky given the conditions, and gave the opposition a couple of goals. Having said that, I think most of their goals just came from a lack of defensive pressure and all over the ground, as well as just some poor efforts from defenders. Yeah, certainly Stephen May had a concern on Friday with a little bit of a tight hamstring, and going up to Cairns and flying up, we believed he was 99% fine to play, but on the morning of the game he still had some signs there, so we thought it better precaution to not play him. But 10 minutes into the game, even 4 minutes in, Michael Coate had unfortunately hurt his hamstring again after being out for a dozen weeks or so with that, and then also Dan Gorringe went down with a season-ending injury, it seems, as well. So we had three key forwards go within 10 minutes of the game commencing, and all of a sudden we had no structure forward of the footy, and really lacked some big bodies and experience because of that. I think he's ruptured some tendons around his ankle, and potentially also fractured a bit of his lower leg. I'm not quite sure of the second part of that, but we'll confirm that today. Yeah, we only named 4 players in the best. One was Peter Yagmore, one of our young top-up players from our academy and from Morningside Football Club. He was terrific and had a real go all day long. We also named Jeremy Taylor, who is a player that missed because of pre-season injury to groins, had an operation, and he has been missing for most of the season. He's been back the last 4 weeks, and he's really getting ready to play senior footy, make his debut quite shortly, I think. A player that can play on talls and smalls as a halfback, and very, very athletic. We also named Luke Russell in the best 4 as well. He just had a go, used his speed, hit through the ball as we asked him to do, and played 4 quarters of really competitive football without really impacting the game on a high level. But the guy who was the real story of the day and is really exciting us at the Gold Coast Suns is Tom Hickey, an ex-volleyballer, and at the start of the year no one really gave him much of a chance to play league footy this year particularly, but also maybe even ever, because he had so much development needed. But the funny thing about development and about people who are willing to be coached, willing to do the work that needs to be done to get there, was that Tom Hickey had an amazing game on the weekend. He's in the best 3 players on the ground, despite us losing and getting pulverised by the opposition, because he took a dozen marks, kicked a couple of goals. His tap work in the ruck was outstanding, and his ability at ground level as a big player to feed the small players by hand has been an incredible bonus to our footy club, and I think he'll be a chance to play senior footy before the end of the year.